Good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming to my presentation. Apologies, I'm in France, in your beautiful city in Paris, and I'm speaking English. I have some colleagues with me who can talk to you a little bit later in France, but I'm the subject matter expert, which is why I'm presenting. So this is the big topic, right? Today, let me move this. The green one. The big green one, the obvious big green one. I'll just do it from. I'll just do it from there. Okay. So I want to do a little bit of education first, because in my experience, I think the issue of why cybersecurity exploits are still happening is not fully understood. What we are finding is on this side here, many companies, probably your companies, are investing a lot of money to look for known attacks. So when an attack has happened, it gets publicized. Your security vendor creates a solution to detect it. So your security solutions today are focused on detecting and finding known attacks. Your security operations has big investments in threat intelligence, security operations, trying to find the attack that is known. Okay, the bad news is the hacker is one step ahead. He has a different way. He's not leveraging attacks through known attacks. What he's doing is creating an attack known as a zero-day exploit. A zero-day exploit, as the term suggests, is brand new. He creates it and he launches the attack, so it goes undetected. So what is happening today, the majority of phishing attacks are zero-day exploits, which are undetected into your organization because you are spending all the money on this side. It's a good emotional reaction to spend the money on this side. Whereas what we need to do is look at an architecture to address the zero-day exploit. So remember, zero-day exploits are undetected. It's in the morning, the attack is launched. By the time it's detected, it's too late. The attack has happened, okay? In this presentation, I'm not going to spend too much time trying to explain what is a phishing attack, etc., but I'm assuming this audience will understand it. So a huge investment is going in to your security operations, your security tools. The normal response when I talk to a CISO, CIO, security architect, stop. I have endpoint security, I have email security, I have firewalls, I have SWIGs, I have AV, I have malware. I don't want another security tool. And I have to ask the question then, please give me one more minute. Are you experiencing cybersecurity exploits? The answer is always yes. So I'm saying there's a problem then. You're spending this money and you're still being exploited, right? So that's very important. So the breaches are happening to your targeted audience, normally your C-suite or the administration clerk or somebody who's not experienced is clicking on something. There are many, many shocking attacks on phishing, how easy it is. You download a malicious document, you don't know. It's got a zero-day exploit. You open up a web page, you click on something, it's putting malicious code on there. It's very easy. I have a simple use case. One of our partners, an MSP partner, 2 weeks ago, their customer, they paid 1.2 million euros through a phishing attack where they raised their invoice because they raised some money and the money was paid, because it came from what they thought was a legitimate address. Okay, so what are the use cases that we, Ericom, have to prevent these attacks and move and address zero-day? So the use cases is, number one, a web browser isolation. According to Gartner, 70% of zero-day exploits are launched through the browser. So number one, we are going to take the browser and we're going to isolate it. Okay? Can I just have a show of hands in your company if you block solutions like Zoom or Teams? Do you allow your users to use it or do you block it? You allow it, okay? I'll talk to you later. It's very dangerous, okay? Because your camera, your microphone, and your desktop can be compromised. In some industries, in medical, in wealth management, et cetera, the risk and compliance teams will stop that because of the sensitivity of data. We have developed an isolation, so no software, no agents, no clients. We run Zoom and Teams in the cloud. It's isolated. So if your device was ever compromised, you'll never get to it, right? Gartner identifies, the last line here, isolation as the only real architecture to address the zero-day exploits. So if I summarize it, zero-day exploits is a prevention-based, and most security solutions are detection-based. I want to detect for a known bug, okay? So there's the big difference. So let me take use case number 2. This is very exciting. We are very unique. So in this audience, probably the business model is to bring the business partners and customers closer into our organization and let them have access to our applications. So if I'm an insurance, a car insurance, I have an accident, I no longer call an agent. The business model is to collapse. I fill out the form on an application. I upload photographs. I'm direct contact with the insurance assessor. This self-service model is really big. It's a nightmare for a security architect. Why? Because you are wanting to take unmanaged devices from business partners, from your customers, and give them access to your networks and your corporate apps. That's a nightmare. They have many solutions like VPNs. You can't load an agent on there. So it's a very challenging security problem for the security architect. How do I give unmanaged device access to my networks? So we have a very simple concept. It's web application isolation. I isolate the application in a secure container. So this unmanaged device never touches my network. This is zero trust concept, okay? I'm conscious of time, so let me just move very simply. So I have 2 key use cases. What are we looking for? If your organization has recently experienced a cybersecurity exploit, somebody has to say why. Why has that happened? If your organization deals in sensitive data that can be monetized, it will be a target of the hacker, and you have to address with a new security architecture. So that's use case number 1. Use case number 2 is the web application isolation to give unmanaged device access to my corporate apps, but without direct access to my networks and my data. This is a really powerful concept. So both these concepts are what's referred to as zero trust. I do not trust the internet. I'm going to isolate the internet to my users. I do not trust unmanaged devices, but I'm going to give access to my applications, okay? So the problem with the first use case of cybersecurity exploits is the zero-day and the phishing attacks are bypassing your security detection solutions. So your current solutions are not working because of this. The second one, legacy VPN or ZTNA architectures actually connect the unmanaged device, the dirty device you can never trust. It's giving that direct access to your networks. Bad architecture, right? So the isolation concept on both is what we propose. So very quickly, this is the data flow. So I have users accessing the Cradlepoint cloud. It's called ZT Edge. I can use whatever authentication method you have with that. Then today, you will block access to bad sites, so that continues. What you can do now is use the isolation to isolate access to websites that might be safe but uncategorized, or you might have senior people, maybe your legal team, your medical staff, always dealing with confidential data. You can also isolate that contact as well. So this has a lot of auditing, a lot of control, who accessed what applications when. So this is very well architected. We have thousands of customers using this. The architecture is proven. The second use case is the very powerful one. So I have on my left-hand side here, your left, my unmanaged devices. It accesses the Zero Trust cloud, and then I set all the security policies in my cloud. Who has access to what application? Very granular. I can also set policies, no upload, or only cut and paste of a certain size, no printing. I can set a lot of remember, it's in my cloud, not on the device. This is a very powerful concept. Concept number two, I'm now running the browser of my applications, all my web applications in my cloud. So this is the data flow of the web, what we call the web application architecture. Even if a hacker was trying to compromise our cloud, they will never get access to any device. Or if a hacker had access to the end device, we detect that and we block the access to our cloud. Okay? So this is our solutions. Great company. We have a lot of great solutions, but I just talked to you about some of the use cases there. So time, that's the end. I only had 10 minutes. I'm sorry if I spoke too quickly. I hope that was easy for you to understand. Are there any questions? If you have an interest, we have a stand next to the far side by the coffee booth. So please come in, talk to us. It's very easy for me to organize a technical overview and demonstration. There's no obligation. We have some French-speaking people who can do that. Typically, after the technical overview and demonstration, we give you very easy access to our software. It's in a cloud. There's nothing to install. Then you have very good access to that to try the software. Okay? You have a question?
Just wait.
How secure is this solution? I assume that you have implemented the same architecture in client side. After implementing this new architecture, the client is not vulnerable to any attack?
No. So we run our software.
Is the percent you have used?
Yeah. We run our software in a secure cloud. Globally, we have around 50 POPs around the world. We typically run on Oracle infrastructure, or cloud infrastructure around the world, highly secure, very scalable, et cetera, et cetera. The beauty, there is no software or no agent. There's nothing to install. So your device, and it could be very vulnerable, I don't care. It's going to my cloud. It runs in an isolated container. That isolated container is very secure. So when you close the browser session on your device, the isolated container is deleted. Yeah.
Any question?
Do come and talk to me on the stand. I have some colleagues there as well.
Thank you very much, Ravi.